Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, that doesn't seem very loud at all. How is the audio levels? Why is desktop audio slightly more in one speaker than the other? Oh, is it because of the way I'm standing? That could be it. Hello everybody, how do you do? Currently sorting out audio levels, if you're curious. I feel like I'm not as loud for myself as normal, as a stranger comment as that is. I guess I'll leave it there, that should be good. Sounds fine. I've never clicked a notification quicker. Well, hello Ben Starkey, how do you do? I've decided to play a bit more Bloodborne for a bit as a way to chill out from the last part of my research for my script. It is so wonderful to be on the last part, still far away from completing the script in total, but the last of my third-party sources is being collected, if anyone is curious. So listen to the sounds in the game. Actually wait, I should probably go fight a boss, that'll do it. Let's go fight, have I killed... what is it, Upper Cathedral Ward? Hey Mauler, how's life? Also hint at your next vid. That would be the critique of The Force Awakens being completed. Upper Cathedral Ward, that's what I was looking for. Have you got a different mic? No, everything's the same. It's just that I haven't streamed in so long that my settings are all flismed. But yes, how are you all? I would start reading out names and saying hello, but there's already too many, and I'm not able to keep track while also looking at my audio levels actively. Desktop audio seems fine, and my mic seems to come above it. It's probably going to be fine, because when we fight a boss, it'll be nice and loud anyway. I've been without internet for 10 days. What memes from you and Wolf have I missed? Are we still at old games and not like new games, Bilbo Baggins stuff? I think so. We did a podcast recently. I think there were some memes in there that you guys can probably work with. But I don't think that's out yet, because there's some kind of recording issue. So I'm going to remain vague on it in case Wolf wants to surprise people with it or something. But yes, there will be more, as will there be from my channel when there's lots to come. Oh, hello there. Now, I never actually finished Bloodborne with this weapon, and everyone was very upset by that because it's like the best weapon in the game. So I played a lot of it while I was with Fortier on his stream, and I'm basically at the point where I've got loads of endgame bosses to kill, so this should be amusing. Spider A laughed my ass off, thanks for the $1, and thanks for the 4, Lucario. Do you like the mecha genre like Pacific Rim Gundam? I like some of it. Not particularly interested in pursuing it all that much, personally, but from what I've seen, I like. Come here, boy. Oh, uh-oh. Hey. Well, that was particularly easy. Amnesia/Soma Dissection is great and underrated. Well, thank you, dude, and for the $2. You know, that's like my first biggest project. That I had a lot of fun making that one, and it's what kick-started everything else. So definitely something to look back on and smile. Do you like the Han Solo movie? I mean, I did a video on it. I don't know if you've seen that, but I thought it was bad. I had some fun with it, but I thought it was bad. Also, weapon at risk. Well then, let's go repair it. The farm rate's really shit. Wait, that's Bloodborne being Bloodborg. Bloodborg. Yeah, I shouldn't need to farm. I've got 400 and something vials, so we can have plenty of fun before having to be forced into that position. Any plans to do more long-form dissections in the future? I would like to, and I think that this is going to be a wake-up call for my channel in terms of when people see the newest thing I've made and how long it is. Like, they'll maybe get a bit more perspective on why it takes so long for me to make stuff. And so if they want dissections, you're gonna have to be willing to wait for like a quarter of a year is how long it may take me. But I should still end up with more content coming out than the average YouTube analyst channel, I think. Like, if you compare me even to someone like Mark Brown, I think I'm actually putting out more hours than he is overall, even though I take much longer. It's kind of weird. Hello, Monk. How you doing, mate? Thoughts on Gunn being fired? Oh, yeah, right. Well, obviously it's up to Disney to do whatever they want, and it does make sense that they would choose to fire him for something like that. I saw a large portion of the tweets, and personally I'm just like, yeah, they do sort of cross a line, if you will. It's pretty hard to just say that they're only jokes without coming across as like, you know, like, where can you just say that it's a joke no matter what, sort of thing? Like, but personally I wouldn't have fired him, but like, I probably would have done what Adult Swim did with Dan Harmon. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but basically, he made a joke about, like, raping babies or something ages ago, and it surfaced, and then Adult Swim said that he has since apologized and does not encourage that sort of behavior whatsoever anymore. So you know, we're moving on and stuff like that. But I think Disney are too, you know, like, they're all about that family friendly. So I feel like that they were never gonna let it slide. Which is unfortunate, because now Guardians of the Galaxy 3, ooh, that could be in trouble depending on who takes it up. But yeah, I probably wouldn't have, I wouldn't have fired him myself. I understand that Disney did it, and despite the fact that they're edgy jokes, I wish he hadn't have made them, because I really like a lot of his work. And it sucks that we're in a culture that basically just means it doesn't matter what your work is if you did something like that. Or maybe that's the right way it should be? I don't know. I'd have to think about it for a while, because it depends. Like, would I want that to happen to people who are, like, murderers? I don't know. Where's the line, folks? Where's the line? Get into very ethical conversations when you start to think about stuff like that. Would you like a General Grievous movie? I mean, I wouldn't mind any movie from Star Wars about any character, even Salacious Crumb, if it was done right. I think you can all agree with that, right? Like, if it was... You can make any of them fun. I think, anyway. And, do you know Legendary is making a Gundam film? I did not know that. But hopefully it's good, I suppose. Thank you both for the $2 each. Good. Twice the pride, double the fall. Man, Dooku was just Christopher Lee all the way. Go watch Clone Wars now that series is getting revived. I am in the process of watching it. Mr. Fortier has been away for 10 days. Or will be away for 10 days once he's back. And once he is back, we will be continuing it. I'm 2 episodes away from season 2. That's as far as I've gotten so far. Alright. Let's see how well this goes. Wait, what? Let me get between your legs. I don't mean that in any kind of... Wait. Ooh. Uh-oh. I think he's dying. Sure. Got some really bad luck there. Do you see the amount of times I got interrupted because of his little, turnaround? Like, my character went, ooh! Wasn't necessarily taking damage, just, ooh! But, yeah, I feel like the next one's gonna go a little bit better. I'm actually try opening with the, transform attacks. See if that makes a difference. But the only fight I'm actually worrying about tonight will be Koss, because I don't know how to kill him properly with this. But hey, kicking names and taking ass as usual. I mean, played a lot of blood blorbs at this point. I should be at least okay at it. How the fuck did he just get iframes? Proud of you, little man. You can come with me. Let's go on an adventure. Dun 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 dun. Can you keep this elevator warm for me, sir? Thank you very much. Oh. Has the new Clone Wars started, and so how do I watch it? I do not know if it's started yet, I'm afraid. I'll be checking it out once I've watched the rest, I suppose. Last one before I sleep, and have a good night. You too, Lucario, and thank you both for the donations as well. Audio seemed really good during the fight. Woohoo! I don't have to change anything. Alright. Let's try this again, shall we? What we don't want is him doing that Call Beyond move, because it's kind of unfair. Kind of. Hello there, Ebrietas. I'm a friend of yours. Don't attack me. Oh, wow. That attack, though. Which pushes us to Ludwig, I believe. Oof. I'm assuming I haven't killed Ludwig. If I haven't, it should be pretty easy. We've given Mauler a great sense of pride and accomplishment. Of course. Have you played Dark Souls Remastered? I haven't, but I've seen a lot of stuff on it, and I realized I don't need to get it. I'm pretty disappointed with the remaster, to be honest. Yeah, I heard not all the episodes of Clone Wars are not they're not chronological. Very, very strange. I'm sure I'll be able to keep track, but still, very, very strange. Let's go refill on my thingamajigglies. And I guess I should spend my vials, because why risk losing them all, right? Oh, there we go. We've got full vials. Excelente. Oh wait, how many third thingies do I have? I think I didn't get the one from Yusefka's clinic. Twice the pride, double the fall. Hello, party Almsevi. How do? How do? The prequels had their time to be destroyed. Why do the sequels get leeway for being bad, but not the prequels? I don't think the sequels are getting that leeway anymore. I think that the what do you call it? Like the nostalgia is wearing off. It only lasted for Force Awakens, and it's still not even lasting for Force Awakens anymore. The veil is being lifted. Everybody was desperate to go back to the OT after the prequels, and now they sort of did. It was like, I don't know. It's like we were given loads of icing, and then we got sick. There are several analogies one could probably make for that, I imagine. What's the favorite build you use in Bloodborne or Souls games? Usually strength. I like hitting hard, in like calculated singular moves, rather than being like super fast and stuff. But you know, there is Ludwig. Okay. Get out of my head! God, everyone loves these enemies because they just play a cutscene when they attack you. And in typical Bloodborne fashion, they scream like nonsensical fire papier. Coming next. Action break, hello there. Alright then, let's go. Damn it. Oh, that just did so much damage. So, that's Ludwig. I wanna find out what the timestamp was for that, because someone said best boss theme ever and we didn't even get to hear it. It's just over. Actually, I don't need a timestamp, but I'll just find it for I want Fortier to see that. It's funny. Dun, 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 dun. Oof. Is this a boss rush? I mean, technically speaking, yes. Any idea on what ER is working on at the moment? I heard rumors that he was working on a Han Solo video for the Solo movie. I'm not sure if that's still happening. But I never know what ER's really up to be honest. He's a mystical being. Very mystical. World record runs. Emilia. Scusi. Have you seen the Shazam trailer? The Shazam trailer looks like your average Marvel film. And by average, I mean kind of on the more boring side of things, but it's the first movie from DC I have ever seen, trailer-wise, where I was like, oh my god, they're actually making a superhero movie? Instead of just something insane. Either he's working on both or scrapped them. Yes, did I just miss Ludwig? Yeah, I kind of ripped Ludwig to shreds immediately. It was wonderful. You should have been there, man. You should have been there. Next will be the Living Failures, which will hopefully be easy as well. How much damage do I do to these things? Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. You hate me. You can't help but scream, can ya? No. Oh yeah? Oh. God damn it. Bloodborne, the world of screams. Why don't you save your streams on a separate channel? I mean, I might do, eventually. All my streams are still unlisted. It's weird. Kinda gotta use a great sword in all 3 Souls games. This is actually the first time I've ever used this in Bloodborne. This run, anyway. And it was because everyone kept saying it's the best, and it's not that I disagree with them. I don't. It's just that— oh wow, that's actually hitting them. Nice. Whoop. And we're good. I'm doing that in case this guy fucks me up, which is common. See? Come on then, mate. Does he drop anything of worth? Yeah, not bad actually. 4 blood vials in this economy is worth something of a treat. I imagine you'd agree. What's your favorite armor and weapons in each of the Souls games and Bloodborne? I mean, that's a lot to say. Probably the Seldora armor in Dark Souls 2 because it generates souls. That's some good tisms. Then you got come on. I like a lot of different weapons and armors across the games, to be perfectly honest. It's kind of a boring answer, but I mean, it's kind of what I like about Dark Souls. There's lots of different things to do. And, I guess I usually pursue long swords and broadswords. Very standard knight mode. I always forget how to get to Maria from this way properly, if that makes sense. Okay. I guess we're just gonna go the easy way. Don't worry about the souls, we really don't need them at this point. Or echoes. Is there any moment spanning more than a minute in this game without autistic, incomprehensible screaming? No. And it can get very frustrating. Man with nice voice does nearly 900 damage. Wonderful. From my point of view, the knights are evil. How dare you? Oh, I mean, there's loads of choices for fashion souls. I think outside the box, I'd agree with that at least. Beautiful. What's your least favorite movie you've ever watched? I don't know. There's probably a bunch. The only ones I can remember off the top of my head. I don't know. Least favorite. Does that mean like when I was most bored or most frustrated? Because The Last Jedi is up there. But I don't know. It depends on what the criteria is, I suppose. Goodbye. Give me stuff. Wow, you kill a thing and you don't unlock stuff. What is this world we're in? Disgusting. Interstellar, I know it is. I was actually gonna say that, but like, I shouldn't do that. Hello there, sir. Oh my goodness. Oh my, what are you thinking? Don't do that. Hello. Wow. Oh, what? How about you no with that? Well, this fight goes a lot quicker when you've got, you know, loads of damage. Living failure is more like Riot Johnston, am I right? You can't say that! Wait, what? He's still alive? Boss fight's over, dude. Dude. What? We're going home now. Look, there's a thing over there. Wait, what? You can't do that. What? The fight's over! He's like, the boss is never over. Huh? Ow. How dare you? Bam, bam, bam. Prey slaughtered again. Let It Fight with Maria. What was your first Souls game? That would be Dark Souls 1. And it was wonderful. Yes, I saw the Godzilla trailer and it looks pretty cool. I'm up for seeing it. They didn't bring back Gareth Edwards. I thought that was interesting. I wonder how all that process works. How they decide to, you know, because I thought his first Godzilla film did well, so I would have thought they'd want him back, but I don't know. Some other guy doing it. I say you're here sooner than expected. Needs to play Morrowind or kill himself. Perfect. Living failures can't even die right. I know, right? Oh wait, I wanted a refresh of my stuff. I was hoping that's what that would do, but nope. That's beautiful, Christo. That is beautiful. You an Elder Scrolls fan? Not as such. Not because I don't like it, but because I haven't played it. That makes me a bad person. And grab some more blood vials. We probably have way too many of these. Let's just get some Quicksilver bullets. Why not? Might need them for Marie. Maria. You know why I called it Marie? I've been, while writing, I've been watching Breaking Bad. They're not rocks, they're minerals, Marie. Monster fights being the center of the film this time. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll be good, I guess. Would you say that the holiday special is arguably better than The Last Jedi? I mean, the holiday special dealt less damage to the franchise, so maybe. Depends what metric we go by. Recently found your channel, been watching many of the videos. Thank you for showing that people can deserve higher quality from their analysts and now an analysts review. Anyway, well, yeah, thanks for checking out my videos. Appreciate it. I have not played Detroit Become Human, I'm afraid, so I can't comment on the story. Let's go with... Oh wait, I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Let's get into the fight as quickly as we can. I think we'll go with fire paper, that makes enough sense. Yeah. Alright, Marie, let's be nice and... Yeah! That was not what I asked you to do. That looked really cool, by the way I dodged that by accident. Uh-oh. You wanna go? Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could just tank through this fight. Worth it. Oh man. Oh, I didn't want that to happen. Damn. Maria, you're a very angry lady. Oh, I thought that would have worked. Okay. I was spamming roll. I couldn't get out of the entire thingy. This is the thing that me and Futia have a problem with Maria for. Third phase, she can just like lock you down throughout your entire health bar. But maybe that's something that she should be able to do, considering if you build health, she's pretty much a pushover. A lot of luck with ladies with that voice. Of course. I think your reviews are really good because they are complete in their incompleteness. Plus they make good use of queer theory. Skellington, you nailed it. You understand the very purpose of my soul. Good luck on your hunt. Why, thank you. Metal Gear Solid, no, I'm afraid. Bam, bam. Wait, Maria, give me a sec. I'm going to go with bolt paper this time for the funsies. Alright then, let's have a go. No! Hello there. Oh. Really already? Oh, come on. Did Did I take a Beast Blood pellet? Oh, I did. It's just running out really fast. Okay. I don't see how that missed, really. Where that? Maybe not actually, because of his stupid fast I'm gonna kill you moves. Let me heal. It's only fair. Oh my god. Ah, Death Star move. You know, you can actually, like, kill her before she can even do anything in the third phase, but as you can see, I don't do very well with the third phase at all, because I never ever have to learn it. I usually kill her too fast for her to do anything about it, but I feel like it's the weapon is a bit slow, because the cleaver is probably my favorite weapon in this game, and it's because it only deals a little bit less damage than this thing, or at least it feels that way, while also being really good for stagger, and you get like loads of hits in quickly. Like, it just feels better to me, but everyone says this weapon's the best, so perhaps. Hello, Marie. Fine. I'ma just hit you back. Wait, am I dead? Oh, 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 I'm still not... Look at my health. Stop it, Marie. Quickly. Oh, what? Oh. Alright then. Unlimited power! I think the reason DLC bosses do so much damage is to counter health builds. I mean, they don't really counter the health builds, though. The only reason that she had a chance against me is because I don't know anything about the third phase, to be honest. I'd say Koth is a better counter, because he actually, like, moves around so quickly that you can only really get one hit on him at most, and then his attacks deal insane amounts of damage. But he's still my favorite boss in this game, so... Become the Senate. I should have become the Senate, you're right. That's the build I should go for. Senate build. Sorry if I missed this, but what are your thoughts on James Gunn getting fired from Disney? I mean, if you scroll back to like 10 minutes into the stream, I did give like a full answer. Short version is, I understand Disney doing it. I wouldn't have done it personally. I'm gutted that Guardians 3 is going to be weird now, because it's not being done by him. The Senate on the high ground. That's way too much power, guys. Can't even joke about things like that. Bestiality or necrophilia? My goodness. Why in the world would that be the choice? Easy. Easy. God, I hate that thing. Ooh. And we're through. Great. Thanks for that. Oh my lord. Sure, I don't care because I get to get my shit back while you guys get to despawn. Fine by me. How's the TFA critique coming along? In a week's time, I'm going to do a detailed post on my Patreon explaining exactly where it is. But we're getting close to a completed script, and it's a very, very large script. It's going to be fun. Many people compare flaws to the sequel Star Wars trilogy with flaws to the originals. Do you think the sequels should be held at a higher standard? Contextually, perhaps. For example, if there's something in CGI that the old people couldn't have done because of technology while the sequels could, then you can actually call out incompetence, sort of thing. Like, I don't know, a lot of things get airbrushed out in the sequel ones, and if they missed something, you'd be like, probably more critical of them than you would be of the originals, because it's much harder to pull it off, I suppose. That's just one context that I could think of, but not necessarily overall. Not a writing standard anyway, and that's the one I care the most about. I need a ladder. I don't need to open that, do I? Hello all. Wee. Ow. How old are you? I am 24... 3? I've forgotten how old I am. Give me one sec. Yep, clearly I have no idea where I'm going. Damn it. 24. Who's your favorite YouTuber and why is it Seth? My favorite YouTuber is probably Retro Ahoy. But that's a good choice as well. I would not deny it. Not at all. What editing software do you use? That would be Vegas Pro 13, I think. Though I'm swapping over to Vegas 14 Edit, I think it's called, or something like that. I picked it up from Humble Bundle. Whichever one was in a Humble Bundle recently, that's the one I'll be using soon once I get over to my new PC. Has to ponder the age. I mean, genuinely, I was like, hang on a minute. I haven't thought about my age in a long time. I don't think anyone's asked me in a while, too. So, you know, I guess that's something you forget, innit? Put your electricity away. It's very rude. But whenever I think about my age, I'm always too old. Oh, those bubbly noises. Why is TFA critique twice as long as the TLJ critique? Because the TLJ critique focused entirely on the script and a conclusion, while the new one focuses entirely on the script with an addition of comparison with The Last Jedi. A few pieces of The Last Jedi that I didn't get to cover in the previous one being covered, you know, this time around. Again, this will all be in the Patreon post I'm going to do, but I've explored looking at everyone's reviews of The Force Awakens to do comparisons. I've looked a lot further into the production and interviews to get more information. I go on a lot of tangents for filmmaking, and yeah, there's a lot more in it. It's going to be a little bit different from The Last Jedi critique in that I'm hoping it'll just be a lot better. We've worked really hard on this one, so I'm looking forward to getting it out, which will still be about a month and a half at the least. I like Hannibal Season 1 and 2. I haven't seen Season 3, if that's a good enough answer. Dementia setting in early. Did you ever watch the Clone Wars? And if you did or didn't, what are your thoughts on it being revived? I find it interesting that it's been revived. I've only seen season 1, and I'm currently getting through it. And so far I have not got many positive things to say, but everyone says that the best of it comes later, so I hope to see it. Alright, let's go! Any Rian Johnson cameos in your review? Probably. I just wish that we had... I could interview him myself. That would be so awesome. What are your thoughts on Wisecrack? I think that once upon a time they were good, and nowadays they just cover whatever gets clicked. Kind of like Game Theory, actually. And that's just my perspective, of course. Why do you not like Stranger Things Season 2? I think Stranger Things Season 2 screws up basically every part of what made Stranger Things good. Completely misunderstands its own characters. The plot is a mess. It contradicts the first season. Loads of the characters become really stupid for no reason. There's so many things I didn't like about it. I probably will cover it one day because it really annoyed me. Episode 7 was embarrassment as well. Of course. Yeah, how do you like that? Ooh. Calm down, Cos. Hey. Whoa. Alright, fine. I don't want to fight you. Okay, I do now. What? Now, I know that that's tied with the Beast Blood pellet, but I made an effort to avoid that. I didn't like that. High five to the people who killed me because that was rude. I find your work has improved greatly. Thank you as always for the great work. Oh, awesome. I am trying to improve as we go along, so this next series is supposed to be my best work, but we shall see. Mauler's beating up newborns. Poor thing has to use his placenta as a weapon. I mean, whatever works, right? Whatever works. How come none of your streams get preserved? They are preserved, and you can access them on the Discord. All the best ones, anyway. But the random ones, I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like you guys would be that interested in these. See them live, and then... That is my assessment. Where is Cos Cave? Blah, 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 blah. Oh wow, just sitting on him kills him? Feels bad, man. Have you ever seen Gotham? Not really. Not enough to actually say I've seen it, to be honest. I need to see Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've been told and seen ER's series on Legend of Korra, so I don't really have any hope for that one. Mr. Cos, I wish to speak with you, sir. Ow. Really? Oh, come on! See, now, I should probably stop using the Beast Blood pellet. I just want to use it until we run out of them, alright? Because I find it fun to deal massive amounts of damage. But I'm kind of hoping we get stuck on Cos for a bit, because the second I kill him, this run is over. So I'm going to have to probably start a new one, otherwise the stream is over and we can't have that. Because, you know, I like to talk to you, you bloody idiots, you know what I'm saying? Dun 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 dun. I just want to hear you talk about pop culture so I can fall asleep to your sweet, sweet Anglo-creamy voice. Well, I shall continue to answer questions. Thoughts on No Man's Sky apology as of late? I've not seen that they apologized, but I've heard that they've apparently pretty much put into the game what they meant to put in from the beginning. That's what I'm hearing. Be interesting to see, you know, how the community that actually cared about that react, because I didn't. I avoided No Man's Sky. I didn't believe the trailers anyway. And then everyone got really disappointed and angry, so I was just like, okay. Ow. Stop it. I'm gonna stab you. Oh, wow. Okay. How did that miss? Whoa. Got him. Weapon at risk. Oh, I hate this game. Why didn't that get me a visceral? Oh, come on! Always so close, but never close enough, eh? I have a second phase 2 cost. I put my thingy on my sword. My phase is better than yours. Damn it. Ugh, couldn't have done that when you're over here. Come on then. Oh, he coming. Oh man. Wait, I think the music just went off. Ah. Oh, and I missed. I was hoping to get a stagger there. Oh, I think I tagged him. I think. Oh, that doesn't do damage. Probably because my weapon's at risk. Again? Really? Oh, you don't like me today. Nearly out of vials. And there we are. Do you think that games that aren't good at launch deserve attention if the devs put in the attention to fix and support said games? I just think it's contextual, so you have to say, this is what happened on launch, this is what they advertised, this is the thing that happened, though the product is completed now, and it is now worth the money, if assuming it is. You just have to be clear on that, I suppose. Which approach do you prefer? The DS1 Bloodborne approach of chucking you straight into New Game Plus, or the DS3-2 approach? I prefer the choice mechanically. I know that it's, like I said, it serves a purpose narratively in both Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1, but I like the mechanic of choosing, personally. I need to go repair my weapon. The video from Ryan Johnson is him saying he's a bad writer, And it's in the context of saying that he takes ages to write, as far as I know. From the clip I saw, anyway. Which, obviously, I don't support. The idea that you're bad if you take a while, considering that's the whole premise of my channel, so I don't want to be looked at as bad because I take a while. That's not good. That's not healthy. Given the opportunity, would you interview Tommy Wiseau? Oh yeah. Yeah. Why not? I would see that as being a lot of fun. Are there any non-YouTube film critics you respect? Not that I know of off the top of my head. There's not many YouTube film critics that I respect, to be honest. Bam, 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 bam. You should find a list of episodes that go in chronological order. Me and Vortia pay pretty good attention. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out how they slot in. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. Dark side or light side? Dark? Hello, Amazia. Do you prefer Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2? Probably 1. Doesn't mean I don't love 2, though. A lot of good character moments in 2. The garbage will do. That's actually, yeah. That's a decent joke. Kenobi. If you played any of the Fallout games, if so, what are your opinion on the new Fallout games? I've not played enough of them to be able to give a strong opinion aside from 3. So, I can't really give a good answer for that. I played 3 thoroughly, and I thought it was alright. And then H-Bomber Guy's video happened, and I kind of agreed with most of it, so... Until I see a counter, which I think some guy made, right? I don't know if Harris is going to respond to that. It'd be interesting to find out. Stay down. Dude, the L2 is good. That takes way too long. No. Dude, look at Cost. That's his second phase activation. Has anyone ever gotten Cost to this point before a second phase? Well, there's gotta be. Didn't matter because I didn't kill him. I'm actually happy I didn't kill him because that felt like a really lame way to win. But I don't think I've ever seen Cost go down to that point before phase 2. Shoot him! I don't think the shoot was ever going to kill him because it's like so much damage, and I haven't upgraded it either. Like I said, it doesn't matter. I'd rather have a better fight with him, which I can't feel like I get much of a good fight out of him with this weapon. It mostly feels like I'm just wrecking him, especially with that L2. Like I said, I way prefer the cleaver. Personally. Personally. Do you hear J.J. Abrams wants to make 9 2-parts? He wants to do that? Is he doing that? What's the source for that? Because I don't want that to happen. I really don't want to have Star Wars Episode 9 Part 1. We're not Harry Potter, please. If I had to replace any Star Wars characters with Tommy Wiseau, who would it be? Probably Jar Jar Binks. I think it'd be way funnier to have Tommy Wiseau there. And that's the funny thing, if you think about it, George Lucas probably could have pulled that off because Tommy Wiseau would be happy to be in Star Wars. I am Jar Jar Binks, huh? Just be like, oh god. Thank you for that. Stab! Oh, come on. Keeps getting me on the backswing. Yeah, I'm just not fast enough to be able to pull that off. With this weapon, I mean. Holy moly. Oh, phase 2. Ah! Come on then, Cosm. Uh-oh. Ho ho. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Alright, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna have to go over here. Ooh. Damn it. Oh, no you don't. Okay, yes you do. Hey, got him. Bow, bow, bow. Is Cos Parasite a material or a spell? I can't remember. Captain Autism. Apparently Disney Lucasfilm employees have leaked that JJ has requested a 9 to be 2 parts. Apparently he says he can't complete the Skywalker saga with one film. Of course he can't. Because you can't fit a trilogy into one film, thanks to Rian Johnson. But yeah, if he does that... Oh, I think that's going to piss off the Star Wars fans quite significantly. Just because it'll come across as a money-hungry moment. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. Mark's Main. What's the deal with so many directors trying to write their own scripts now? Did you ever hear back from Just Right, or is he content to stick with symbolism and allegory? Oh, we had one more argument on Twitter, and I think he'd rather avoid me at this point. But yeah, no, I like the idea of directors having their own scripts written, but directing and writing are two different talents. If you can't perform on both of them, then I don't know, let someone else take the job you're not very good at for you, I suppose. Some people just aren't writer-directors. Some people aren't Edgar Wright and Quentin Tarantino. That is the way the world works, I suppose. But thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. You can break the orphan a bit if you backstab, stun him, and then chuck a pebble at him when he's recovering. I have heard about that, actually. Fortia mentioned it. Sounds quite funny. What do you think is the worst boss in Bloodborne? Probably Rom or stupid... What's his name? Mikolash. Both of them are terrible mechanically. But narratively, they're wonderful. You know, who doesn't love fighting a boss that runs away from you and then has 3 moves and he spams one of them over and over again? That is my favorite. A trilogy of 4 movies, that's awesome. I know, right? That... Oh my god. I'm gonna have to look at that if there's an article for it. My pick on worst Bloodborne boss is Ibertas. That's definitely a low tier for me, yeah. I would definitely say that's one of the lesser bosses. What do you think Marvel will do after Avengers 4? Also, do you think it will be called Avengers Endgame? Possibly. I don't know if you can call Avengers... Can you call it Endgame and then continue? That seems a bit weird. I know that it's referring to something specific, but, you know, seems a little weird to me. Should we just go fight Gimmin? We could get the 3 parasites to fight the moon presence, but I actually can't be asked to go and get the third one because it's all to fight the moon presence, which the moon presence isn't exactly an interesting boss. I don't even really give a shit. If that make a sense. Let's go repair my weapon, actually. Why'd you pick the name Mauler? That was in my Q&A video, and now I can actually direct people to that, if you would like to know the answer as to why my name is Mauler. I believe it is the first question I answer in the Q&A. And I give you a nice, detailed answer, too, because a lot of people were, curioso about that. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. Oh, German. German. Thoughts on Doctor Strange? I don't think it's a particularly good film. I like the character. And I basically love Doctor Strange and all of his cameos. Not a huge fan of his movie, though. Submit your life. Refuse. Come on, old man. Wait, give me a sec. I'm not ready. Ow. Really? Okay. Fire. Bah. Fire. Fire. Thoughts on Starship Troopers? I completely agree with Red Letter Media's review of it, where they go over it. They pretty much said everything on it that I think needs to be said. It's a awesome satire of, I don't know, how bad it gets in a world that's fascistic and encourages said elements, while also acting as a sort of, you know, it's kind of a schlocky action film. I like it a lot. Alright. I'm gonna parry you, I guess. Well. I said I would. Bye. I have no idea what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Oh my viscerals do a lot of damage. And there we go. Read the book. A monk? What makes you think I can read? Disney Lucasfilm might need to extend 10, 11, and 12 to repair Star Wars after Ryan. Isn't he doing it? That's what I heard. Hello, Moon Presence. I'm not fighting you because I couldn't be asked to set that up. I'm sorry. Dark Souls 4 or new series based on similar mechanics? Probably new series, to be honest. Bloodborne apparently does run better on PS Pro. That's what I've heard. But I've not seen it for myself. I have not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I will be seeing it in a week, I believe, is when it releases for little old Britain. Thoughts on Ralph the Movie Maker and YMS? YMS is a little bit lazy as of the last few years. And Ralph, I've never really liked Ralph's videos that much. Seems like a really nice guy. But, so many emotional arguments in his videos that I'm just sort of like, alright, cool. I'll just go then. The YouTube buzzwords montage is easily one of the cringiest things I've ever heard. Cool. I'm glad that actually sort of had an effect, Dadco. I get really tired of listening to the exact same video over and over again, and that's what a lot of initial reviews are, because I don't think YouTubers really know what the hell else to do. But yeah, let's start a new run, and I'll play that for an hour, and then I'll go back to work. Bloodborne does not in fact run better on the PS4 Pro. Tried it. Oh, I heard that it didn't run at a consistent FPS, but it was still improved. That's what I heard. Can't create anymore. Alright, that's fine. So, Fleepoom, Glorm, Grimbly, Humfrenick, Fleesh, Glump Senior, Glug, Floomp, Pykel, Gogglepiss. Which one's got the least time? 52. We'll take Glug. I can run at 60 FPS and DS3 on PS4 Pro. Oh yeah, but what about Bloodborne? That Titans trailer, I know, right? It looked so awful. Ryan was going to do a completely different trilogy away from the Skywalker Star Wars. Now, evidently, Kathleen Kennedy and him have been fired? Is this rumor? Because my goodness, that would be big if true. Big if true. Yump. Let's go with, which is the one I like? Military vet. Should I play as a monk? Violent past, or play as Jenna? A monk or Jen? I reckon a monk and Jenna would appreciate that joke. So do I want to focus strength, or sort of a split, isn't it? Yeah, we'll go with that. Pump the Yump. It's actually freaking. I can't believe that's a reference to Markiplier. I really liked his Soma playthrough. I thought it was really entertaining. That's all I just reference every time I think about the dissection, because I got so much content out of analyzing his reactions to Soma. No Man's Sky is honestly now what it should have been, and it's fun. That's awesome. Pity it took. Was it 3 years? 2 years? I'm not actually 100% sure on that. Also, that is a deep reference. That's bullshit. How did you come up with that? Have you seen all of my videos, or have you? I figured you were more on the Star Wars crowd, because I don't remember your name before Star Wars. Disney shareholders quarterly report reveals a changing of the guard and cancelling Rian Johnson's trilogy. Really? Really? Because that is just a good idea, I'm afraid to say, business-wise. Ryan will be fine. I'm sure he's made a hell of a lot of money from this trilogy alone, and I'm sure he'll get deals in future, but keep him away from Star Wars. My god, if you want to have any chance of rescuing the series, anyway. Yeah, I like Star Wars with an extended universe. I like all the extra stories outside of the main films. I'd like some of the main films to cover those extended stories, I think. Would you recommend visiting the UK? I suppose go for anywhere that's got touristy stuff, because at least then you'll be able to take in some memories. Like London is filled with touristy stuff. I gave Yooka-Laylee a try after watching your videos. Pretty decent game. Don't get what all the fuss was about. I didn't get it either. I played it and was like, yep, this was nice. And then I saw all the videos and everyone was like, bah! Remember, I watched all your videos. I found you via In Defense of Dark Souls 2 videos, then went through your Soma vids multiple times. Oh, that's awesome, dude. I appreciate deep references. I think you remembered that better than me for a moment there. So I'm glad that they were good enough to entertain you, I suppose. Really proud of my Soma series, despite being controversial because I say naughty words in it. I thought the analysis was on point. It's just that I don't know, there's certain words you can't say on YouTube if you want to approach a wider audience, which is a shame, but as long as it doesn't sacrifice the information you're putting forward, I suppose it's not that bad of an exchange. Bob Iger has stated it's time to start thinking about the fans. Yeah, it's about time, maybe. Monster coming to touch your butthole. A monk, that takes us back, what, like 2.5 years, 3 years to when you were watching me play Monstrum? That was good times, man. Your response series made me play DS1. It was certainly a fun game. Well, awesome, John Alexander. It is one of my favorites. Three years, I think, yeah. It's a bit fucking late. Oh, man. I'm actually getting excited for episode 9 now, just to see what they're gonna do. I've seen a lot of production stuff with J.J. Abrams about The Force Awakens, and it is fascinating because I don't see how this man is going to make episode 9, because everything he relied on to make episode 7 was essentially all of his references to episode 4, to knowing what people want to see. Now he's doing a sequel to a film that was precisely what people don't want to see. So what does he do? Do it again? He can't do episode 4. Oh my god. I'm so excited because I don't know what he's going to do. J.J. Abrams doesn't do new stuff. Really. Like, no, I'm not even trying to offend him here. I think what he does well. I just don't really hugely love what he does. You know, beginning stories and not ending them properly. So I think if he gets a part 1, part 2, which I swear to God, don't do it. I think if he gets a part 1, part 2, he's going to have another Force Awakens in part 1, where we're going to get a bunch of unanswered questions. And that's probably going to be a huge mistake. I don't know. It'll be. This is why I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen. It's completely uncharted territory. I got no predictions. But I don't think that it's going to be good, though. Expectations are in the toilet. My favorite reference is don't spell defense like you're in the colonies. I had a few people be angry at that. They were like, oh my god, why are you picking on spelling? I was like, no. It was a joke. I didn't mean to upset you. It's like, do you really think that I am that much of a snooty Englishman? I'm excited for 9 for the exact same reasons as you. I can't wait. Yeah. I think a couple of people are genuinely just like that. Like, how do you... It's like a train going at light speed into this enormous cube of titanium, and then J.J. Abrams takes the controls from Rian Johnson, and it's just like, what could you do? And he's like, no, I'm gonna do something. And you're like, okay, I want to see what that is. Ugh, gotta get him in his back. I'm not a beast, sir. Ow, stop it. Ow. No. Fuck you. I'm never gonna be able to kill him with normal. Alright, fuck it. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna get a cleaver and then florm your ass. Break another universe's space battle rules. Yeah, didn't J.J. Abrams screw up Star Trek space battle stuff as well? He had, you can chase people in warp. I'm not a Star Trek fan, really, so I don't know if that does break anything, but I just wonder what his track record was. The messengers offer you a trick weapon. I've always wanted a notebook. Thanks. May have missed it if you answered this before, but thoughts on... Oh, why can't I see that? I see FIR. Oh, firing James Gunn. That was at the beginning of this stream, so if you keep the link, you'll be able to check it at the beginning. But, yeah, I gave like a 10-minute answer or something. Let's go... kill some people. Were there any Comic-Con trailers that appealed to you? I think the new Godzilla looked cool. I'm willing to believe that it looks decent. I hope. Mystery box. I mean, if he makes another Mystery Box movie and he puts another Death Star in it, I'm pretty sure he's smart enough to know that that will piss everybody off. Like, I mean, come on, you have to know that that's not a good idea. I love Bioshock 1. I like Bioshock 2. I hate Bioshock Infinite, if that answers that. The warp chase was due to the villains shipping far beyond the Enterprise current tech. It's not that bad for me. If it was new technology. Yeah, like I said, I'm not someone who really knows enough about it. How's the new PC faring? I haven't been able to use it yet. This'll tell you how much I got the PC for technology, by the way, rather than, you know, messing around. I haven't actually used it. It's set up, but I haven't used it because the whole point of it is to edit my new videos. And I haven't finished the script yet, so until I finish the script, I won't be transferring over to the new PC, because I want to have the script completed with all references done. And then begin editing on the new PC. So, yeah, it's been, I think, a week since, maybe more, since it was finished, and I haven't even touched it. And it's so much more powerful than my current PC, but it's because all I've been doing is script writing. I've not actually been doing anything aside from this stream that you could be considering as intensive. The only game I've played in that entire time is a game called Idle Champions, which is like the lowest processing power you could ever want for a game. You could play it on your phone. So yeah, I will be getting to the new PC, but not yet. I think I need another week for the script. Maybe longer. I need another couple days before the last of my research is completed, and then I need to just redraft. Very excited about this script, though. It's gonna be my best work, I'm hoping. You guys ready for 2 hours to 3 hours of content per week for about a month and a half? Because that's what it's gonna be. Have you ever seen Chris Stuckman? Yes, I think Chris Stuckman is probably the most overrated film critic on the planet. And I only say that because he's so popular. It's not that he's like specifically awful. But I disagree with him a lot. He makes a lot of arguments from emotion, and I think the thing that bugs me the most about him is he appeals to authority quite a lot. So he'll be like, I've heard him say so many times, you know, some people won't care about these things, and I understand, but as somebody who understands film, I'm the one who's looking for these details, and I appreciate them. And that translates to my head as, oh, you, because you appreciate and understand film, notice these things that the plebs don't, right? I think he said it about Force Awakens when he was talking about all the practical effects, and I was just like, how the fuck wouldn't people notice those things? That's like one of the biggest criticisms the prequels got, when, as far as I know, it's not even accurate. So, yeah, and very much, I'm a dick when it comes to judging other people's YouTube content. Very much a stickler for, like, I get caught on a lot of things I don't like, and then end up giving up on them. Chris Stuckman is just one of thousands to me, and he's just for some reason the one that got popular. I think Jeremy Jahns is better than him. I think he's more honest. He's more edgy, which is slightly more interesting. But still not a fan either. Just because there's like 10 YouTubers that I genuinely, honestly like. And it's probably less than that in terms of the amount of YouTubers I watch the videos that come out the moment they release them. Very, very cynical-minded, I'm afraid. I made a short edit of Wolf's Last Jedi review where he praises it and calls people like you out for being wrong. I just need to get rid of the watermark. Really? How did you do that? 2 to 3 hours in a week? I want 2 to 3 hours a day, slacker. Well, if you want, I could just stream for 2 to 3 hours a day. I love your voice to fall asleep to. I have not seen Taboo. What's the most stupid thing you've heard outside of stuff like TLJ fans? For instance, I met someone who wanted double glazing windows because heat doesn't travel through vacuum. I'll give you a story, why not? There was a friend of mine that me and Alex had a long time ago, and his two best moments were they were going on some kind of trek for Duke of Edinburgh Award where you just basically just do some hiking in the country, and they came across a bull in a field, and they needed to cross it, and they were like, okay, we're gonna have to find another way around. And this guy was like, why? They were like, we don't want a bull charging us. Like, that's the last thing we need. And he was just like, oh, it's just a bull. And then they were like, what do you mean it's just a bull? And he was like, worst thing that'll happen if a bull hits you is you'll have a dead leg. And by dead leg, he means, you know, when you rest on a limb for too long, and it kind of goes like, you know, you get pins and needles eventually. He's kind of referring to that. And it was the most funny thing ever. It's like, you think that if a bull charges you and hits you in the leg, the worst you'll have is pins and needles. He's just like, yeah. And then the other quote that he had, which was hilarious, was we were all walking home from high school, and we just had this little moment where we were like, I'm so manly, I would punch and then X, and, you know, that would be the joke. And we were trying to one-up each other. And, someone said, I'm so manly, I would punch a tiger. And then I think I said, I'm so manly, I would punch a shark. Obviously the joke being that it would be pretty difficult to punch underwater effectively. And then someone to one-up me said I would punch a dinosaur. And then this same guy was like, hang on a minute. Hang on. We all stopped, and he was like, how would you punch a shark? They're underwater. And like, we all just stared at him for a while, and he was like, what? And we were like, you're okay with punching a dinosaur, but a shark was too much. And that shit was funny. Hello, Lime Green Hunk. How do you do? You've not missed anything important, I'm sure. He has to know that's a bad idea. You're forgetting these folks have given us 5 hours of movie time with zero will building no genuinely good creative ideas of their own. Although, again, that's why I'm interested to see what he comes up with. Best YouTuber friend besides the Son of Wolf? Probably Rags. Very, very good acquaintances with Rags at this point. Find him to be very, very good company. Very honest and friendly. Though I'm good friends, I suppose, with a couple of people. I had a 7-hour conversation with Logic, which was awesome. I've spoken a few times to Fringy. I've spoken a few times to The Right Opinion, still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with his video on me. He said he was willing to edit out the more inaccurate parts of that video, but we're going to have to see how that goes. By the way, tidbit for you folks, if you go on Twitter and find the tweet of my script, what you'll see is a huge selection of writing, and then a gap, and then a huge selection of writing. Now again, if you pull up Twitter right now, I'm giving you time to do this, so this will make sense for you. If you pull up Twitter and go onto that tweet from me, and you'll see the separation between the two of them. The first selection is all Force Awakens. Well, the script for Force Awakens anyway. And then that second bit is my response to Quinton, which I've been sort of editing as time goes on. But that'll be the last thing you see in my series, because I don't know, it takes me a while to respond to things, but the purpose is that I want to get it right. And, obviously, I'm not a huge fan of what he said about my channel. If that makes sense. I'm so manly I'd punch a dragon. Of course. What if you don't have Twitter? But I do have Twitter. I'm pretty sure that punching sharks is a common method to make sure they're kept away during scuba dives. Well, then that makes my story even funnier. More inaccurate bit, so he's gonna have to remove that bit where he says he has a special guest. Now that's an edgy joke. Down you go. What did Quinton say? Oh, you'll see it. I'll put it all in context for you folks. But it was said like a half year ago. It's just taken me that long to make a video where I feel it's a good place to respond to it, so... You know, and I'm not the kind of person that responds to people being like, you're supposed to talk about the topic when it comes out, not this late. I'll just be like, oh well, it took me this long to collect my thoughts and have a, you know, efficient response to it. That is my excuse. Leave me alone. Ray Don, thank you for the €2.29. I think that's the euros symbol. Appreciated. Very much. Thoughts on Force whispering to Ray, you're the salvation, you're his niece, say it. Before she enters the Force tree. I don't even know what that's referencing. You're the salvation, you're his niece, say it? Is that from one of the books, or...? The Citizen Kane video was the first video, but he made a second one with the right opinion. Without a shield, you'd learn how to play. Exactly. Give me an address and I can remove his spine. No, no. No, no, no. I'm sure Quentin is a nice person. He's just a bit of an idiot. Bum ba dum bum ba dum bum. What makes you think that art can be objectively measured, especially since it is very opposite to most people's arguments? It's kind of like self-fulfilling. Take any part, as long as you can prove that a singular part of art can be measured, then you've pretty much proven that there is a total measurement that is stuck within definitions and measurements. Like, for everything that can be measured, there would be an overall result of all those measurements. And there is nobody on this planet who thinks that there is nothing measurable in art. And even if they do, it'll only take a few seconds to get them to agree with. The example we gave, I Hate Everything, that just won out immediately was at the beginning of Suicide Squad. It pans into some place, and they have a little subtitle for you to let you know where it is. And the subtitle is so dark that you can't see it because they put it on a dark background. And so the question becomes, is that incompetence? Is that an error? And if they say no, then you go, uh-huh. So they had a word made of letters as part of a language that's only purpose is to display something to read, and they used colors that meant the average human eye cannot read it. And you don't consider this incompetence, you consider this like an artistic choice. It's like the, I guess pretty tough to defend that. When, I'd rather just keep it real. Of course that was a mistake. Does that mean that Suicide Squad is terrible? No, Suicide Squad is terrible for loads of other reasons. But once you've accepted that one exists, you've accepted that objectivity can be measured. Because what's the clearest way to display a word versus what is a way that sort of takes you to Suicide Squad's level, and then what's the halfway between? These are all they're going from barely visible to fully visible, and that would be the measurement for how good a displayed piece of text is. But then you could probably talk about how obnoxious it is, or how much it gets in the way. Civil War actually has what I would consider obnoxious titles. They're just, it's fine, because who cares? You barely see them. And nothing significant in the film happens when they're on screen, so... It's all contextual. It takes ages. I just broke down a word on a screen, and how long did that take with how many examples, and I haven't even covered it all yet. If this is any inclination as to why my videos are so long. No. So my thoughts on the Aquaman trailer are that it looks incredibly hilarious, and I can't wait to see that film because I think it's just another DC misfire. And Shazam looks okay. It looks okay. I think it looks okay. We'll have to see about that one. Because I took a class about film and the language of cinema and I loved it, but then you have people like Quentin and they just make me go ew bleh. What did you learn in the language of cinema course? Was it good? Because I hope so. Have you thoughts on Comic-Con this year? I don't really go to Comic-Con at all, so I'm afraid I have nothing interesting to say on that subject. Bum ba bum ba bum. Hello, sir. Would you perhaps be interested in discover? Ooh. Do a move. Not like that. Right now, you should be dead. Torch and a cocktail. Would have prefer. Wait a minute. Did he drop? I was gonna say, don't they only ever drop blood vials? Can't be having him cheating me out of me blood vials. That's wrong, that is. Stop screaming, old lady. I watched Civil War and it's subjectively, objectively shit. In that case, I have no idea what you're saying. It was interesting, I was having an argument the other day about prequels versus sequels, right? So, I posit that the prequels actually have more going for them than the sequels do. And they said, the sequels actually have emotion in them, while the prequels do not, and that's more value already. And so I fired back with, like, arguments about world building and how there are emotional moments in the prequels, despite the easy, criticisms being that there are none. More so in the third episode out of the three, but you still have Qui-Gon's death. That definitely made a lot of people in cinema go, "Oh my goodness!" And it came down to a more emotional argument in general, just like I value the sequels more because they made me feel something more than the prequels did. And then the conversation, this is what I mean about objectivity versus subjectivity, it helps the conversation. So I was like, oh, that's fine, but what do you say to people who say they felt more in the prequels than in the sequels? And it was sort of like a standstill, because like, oh yeah, well, I guess those people do exist. And so the conversation's kind of over at that point, because it's like a deadlock. So I would rather talk about the actual definitive elements that can be compared and contrasted. For example, I'm one of the people that doesn't actually think that midichlorians contradict anything in Star Wars. I don't like them, but I don't think they actually do anything that discredits anything in Star Wars. It's like, the Force is in everything, and then, that's the easy way of saying it. Good night or goodbye, Mr. Monk. Force is in everything, and then it's like, midichlorians are the microbes or subatomic particles that the Force resides in. It's like an unnecessary scientific version of the Force, which is the weird part. And then, like, the more that's within you, the more potential you have to use the Force. That's how I understood it, I guess. But yeah, so, comparing the actual definitive elements of the prequels versus the sequels, I genuinely think that the prequels come out on top, especially with The Last Jedi, but I would probably even say with The Force Awakens. I think I said that in my Q&A, that The Force Awakens is close for me. Same with the Han Solo movie, I guess. Stop it! Thoughts on Aquaman trailer? Looks hilarious. Ooh. Sorry for missing questions, but I'm afraid I can't get to all of them. I felt like the prequels were far more... the prequels have far more world building and more opportunities for expanding the universe. I mean, I think that's just definitive. There's no question. The prequels made Star Wars feel big. Especially with the Senate room. Just imagining that there's that many systems involved with the politics of the universe. And then The Force Awakens is like, there's 3 planets, maybe. And there's only 2 rulers. The good and the bad. Have you watched The Greatest Showman? I have not. The video that compared Joseph Campbell's hero journey to the Bloodborne breaks it down. I've not seen that. Disney cancelling most of their spin-offs? Do you mean like the anthology stuff? Because I saw that there was like an article saying that it's like, there you go, fans. Now that you've complained so much, you're not going to get any more Star Wars. How does that feel? And it's the most like, okay, good moment ever. Like, it's not that I don't want any more Star Wars, it's that I don't want any more crap Star Wars. I'm sure you guys are mostly on board with that idea. I just like it at this point. If they put a little bit more effort into the writing. I don't even necessarily... Yeah, this is something I'm starting to feel. You know, like practical effects and making sure we have droids and flying ships. I'm starting to wonder if all of that is like becoming similar in terms of the problem with CGI. Is it like, as long as we have enough practical effects, it doesn't matter what the writing is? Like, why can't we care about writing? Do you remember that, guys? Do you remember what writing was? I miss writing. In all seriousness, I thought Civil War was excellent. Well, I look forward to covering that film eventually. So many good things to say. Do you think Rogue One was a good movie or not? I am undecided. I need to see it again. But I've seen people break down Rogue One, and I was like, oh my. Perhaps. I still think it's the best that Disney has to offer, if that makes some sense. It's just better than the other three that Disney have, but I don't think that's a high bar. Oi. There we go. Midichlorians are not the flu. Look at your stream title. Anakin did not tell Dooku, I have twice as many bacteria on me than I did last time. I mean, I would just look at the Wikipedia page. What does Qui-Gon say? Midichlorians are, I don't even remember. All I remember is that you can reconcile it with what Yoda says about the Force pretty easily, because Yoda's like the spiritual version, while Qui-Gon's is like explaining it statistically. I suppose they wanted to have a reason why Vader was so much more powerful than your average Jedi. Because you didn't need to explain Luke too much, because he's the son of Vader, so if you explain Vader... Because we all seem to think that genetics travel pretty well, and I imagine that makes sense with those particles traveling into another human. Or whatever they are. Thoughts on the Oscars? I've never cared about the Oscars, probably never will. I don't even understand why people do care. But, I suppose it's nice to have an award, even if it comes from people who... I don't know, I just don't care. Have you had a discussion with Wolf about Thor Ragnarok? I've heard it's how you two met. That is, and we still disagree on Thor Ragnarok, but funnily enough, we both agree that it's pretty hard to argue one way or the other for the film right now, because a lot of it is based on how much it makes you laugh, but I would concede that there's plenty of plot issues, and I know that a lot of Thor fans consider the film to be an insult because it kind of retcons his character, which the problem with that for me is that I agree, but I don't really like Thor. I don't think Thor was a particularly great character before, and I think the new one is great, so it's a really interesting topic, and if I ever cover the MCU extensively, then that would be something I would explore and figure out how I feel on it, you know? Favorite prequel character? That would probably be... Ooh. You know, it's kind of tough because it's all based on potential rather than what was actually there. I actually preferred Jango Fett to Boba Fett, so I liked him in the prequels, but it's often tied to the fact that I played Star Wars Bounty Hunter around the same time. And so I felt like I got more of a grasp on Django's character. He wasn't strictly evil. He really was a bounty hunter. But he's a little bit more evil in the films, or at least he comes across as a bit more evil. But then I also really like Darth Maul, but he doesn't really have a character in the films. Thank you for that, asshole. Look how awkward he looks coming down. You having fun over there? Bye-bye. Qui-Gon's death still leaves me unaffected. He felt like a non-character. Perhaps I mistook that for his Jedi composure, but Obi-Wan seemed to have more going for him. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Qui-Gon is very, very one-dimensional. Or at least he comes across that way, but I think there's something to explore. Like, if you pay attention to a lot of stuff he does, and there's one scene that I think brings all of this around, is that when Obi-Wan says, if you weren't so like blah blah blah, you would be on the council, like implying that Qui-Gon does a lot of stuff for himself, which is far more interesting as a character trait than anything else we get for him. The idea that he actually, like, does shit because he wants to do it. I find that I find that there's probably more of a character to explore with him, but they don't really do a lot of that in the first prequel film. Disappointed you didn't say Obi-Wan, who's the reason to watch the prequels. I like Obi-Wan a lot, but he's not my favorite. I find Darth Maul and Jango Fett more interesting. I mean, hell, I like Qui-Gon as well. You know, if the question was who is the best character, then it might be Obi-Wan. But my personal favorite, I don't have to have a decent reason for it. I mean, hell, I love Darth Maul despite him having what is it, 2 lines of dialogue? 3? It's kind of hilarious to think about. Qui-Gon is supposed to be the example of Jedi of sorts, a person that studied and went through all the process but still rebelled. Be the example Jedi. I mean, is he though? I'd say yes in the fact that he seems to go on missions for the Jedi, but he's not on the Council. As if he's not allowed to be on the Council. Which is very interesting. Gonna go see the new Winnie the Pooh movie? Probably not. Thoughts on the Star Wars TV shows? I have not seen enough to say anything, but I am working my way through the Clone Wars. Did anybody see the cartoon Clone Wars? Not the animated one. Well, CGI animated. I'm talking about like the one that was drawn. So I remember when that came out. I don't remember anybody having much to say about it though. Hello there. Ooh. I thought you weren't allowed to say Obi-Wan, as I thought it was a prequel characters only. I'm sure he counts. He is in all the 3 prequels. He's more in the prequels than he is in the OT, technically. Oop. So how do you feel about the Clone Wars so far? It's okay, but I've heard that the best stuff is not what I've seen, so I'm, you know, happy to give it a chance. Django wasn't elaborated on too much either. Would you have liked for him to be explored more, or keep that Boba Fett style mystery around him? Oh, I'd say explore him. We didn't explore Boba, so, you know, we can keep that there. But why not keep an interesting villain going? Django, like I said, I liked him a lot from the game because he's very much an opportunist and trying to just make money in the galaxy, then gets caught up in what is the most, like, crazy bounty ever, which is hunting down and killing a Sith. Which is just really cool. Like, I would watch that movie about Django Fett, having to do that, because the game ends with him meeting Count Dooku personally and setting up the fact that he's going to be cloned. I was just like, oh, cool. So again, that's probably what connected me to him more, but the film alone, yeah, you don't get that much. You can hear the Force whisper, "You're the salvation, you're his niece." Say it in the 22:30 mark in The Last Jedi. It's quite clear with headphones or a quality sound system. That sounds weird, man. Who's that referring to? You're his niece. Alright, I'm coming, dude. He should be over there. Why is he not over there? Draw distance, I guess. Let's say that in the far, far future someone directs a Star Wars film and they were a fan of you and asked you to have a cameo. Would you accept the role? Probably not, because I'd say I can't judge the film properly if I do that. Because I know that I'd get on set and I'd enjoy my time there, and then it would screw up my ability to talk about the film. But I would thank them massively for the opportunity. And I would probably only do that with Star Wars compared to anything else, because this channel seems to be primarily Star Wars now, which is fine. Just saying. What's your opinion on Buffy getting rebooted? Completely unnecessary, and it's probably going to be horrible, because Buffy is something that's out of time. It wouldn't be allowed to be made these days. There's too much shit and it's controversial. In fact, I find it funny when, you know, hardcore feminist people sort of rally behind Buffy, when I think they need to watch it again, because there's a lot of stuff they would not approve of in Buffy. For example, there is like over 10 instances where characters call each other retards, and it's refreshing as hell to hear, because it's just like, oh, I remember when that word wasn't offensive, but feminists should have a problem with that, right? Then there's, women and men are on an equal playing field in that show. They get dispowered and repowered and beaten and succeed. Like, it's more of an egalitarian thing than a feminism thing, compared to what... For example, Anita Sarkeesian is concerned that Buffy's getting rebooted, and I'm just like, you liked Buffy? I wouldn't have thought you would like Buffy, considering some of the stuff that's in Buffy, but, you know, there we are. So a new Buffy's not going to have any of that stuff in it, because that's way too controversial, which means the show is going to lose its edge. And, yeah, the best case scenario is that it just gets attention for the old show anyway, but I'm pretty sure everyone's waiting to criticize it who likes the old show, myself included. So that'll be fun, won't it? What's the video that Right Opinion mentions you? It's the video on Rags, actually. So if you type in the Right Opinion and Rags, you'll find it. In fact, large amounts of my video get in there. And it's really annoying. Oi. Oh wow. We got another one. Yeah, I don't know why they're making Buffy black. I don't understand that. Why not take a new character, and then why take an established character and change her race? I don't understand. It's not that Buffy's race was important to her character. It's just why. And then they're citing that it's more inclusive, and I'm just like, oh, okay then. It's funny enough, I think there was already a person of color who was a Slayer in the show. Could have made a series about her. But nope, gotta get that name recognition. Didn't even think Buffy had a lot of name recognition anyway. There we are. You learn something new every day. What do you think of Onision? I don't know much about him. I just hear crazy things a lot. Dogs or cats? I way prefer dogs. I like cats, They don't like me, though. Don't vomit on people, it's gross. Gonna come down. Who's a good boy? Have you ever walked out of a movie? No. Never in my life have I walked out of a movie. And I don't think Alex has either. We're trying to keep that record, but you never know. When the girl releases the dinosaurs in the new Jurassic World, I had a temptation to get up out of my seat. I was just like, this is so fucking stupid. But I was like, oh, we're near the end, so it's fine. But that really was so fucking stupid. Rey is Luke's niece. No more speculations. It's in The Last Jedi. Luke's niece, meaning that she is... her parents are related to Luke in that they are brothers and sisters? Remind me of how niece works in the family tree. I have completely forgotten. Good, you're a man of intelligence. Are there any aspects of the sequel trilogy that you like? Yes, and I'll cover them in the new critique. There's just not much, unfortunately. Guys, I want to get you guys killed by this thing. Hey. Beautiful. Yeah, I bet you're scared now. You've lost all your friends. Super important question. Have you seen Star Wars The Third Gathers, Backstroke of the West? If not, you really need to. I'm afraid I have no idea what that is. But thank you for the $10, JJ Death. And what is it? Star Wars The Third Gathers, Backstroke of the West. That does not sound real. Rey is Leia's kid. Uh-huh. Well, I suppose that answers some questions. Yeah, that's kind of screwed up, considering Rey and Kylo have been baited to be related, but... you know what's going to happen. People will be like, yeah, well, we did that with Luke and Leia. And be like, alright, whataboutism, of course. Ooh. Do you ship Reylo? Also, they've got a lot of explaining to do if Rey is Leia's daughter. Didn't he say that the parents are junk traders? Was Leia a junk trader? Wait, let's not do that yet. I want to go kill those other guys. Niece's female version of nephew that makes Kylo and her brother and sister. Backstroke of the West is Return of the Sith with faulty English subtitles retranslated from Chinese. Oh. I've heard of that, I haven't seen it. How is Rey Leia's kid if Luke himself said she opened herself to the dark side for a pair of pretty eyes? Well, you said that about Rey. Oh god, yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, that means that the directors have no idea what they're doing. I know, shocking. Apparently Luke was unaware of Rey's connection as well. Down you go. Alright, I'm nearly fully searched Yharnam. Kylo's lying. Rey and Ben Solo are revealed to be brother and sister in The Last Jedi. Just watch the scene just before Rey enters the Force tree. Will do, will do. 22:30 did you say it was? Will do. That's a weird line to have in the film though, considering there was a line that was cut from Luke saying that you fell for Kylo. Like, you know, sexism wise. Maybe that's why that line was cut, I don't know. But they could always screw it up. They could always undo that. Purple Hair's kid. Will you please play Spelunky in a stream or free demo? I wasn't a huge fan of Spelunky. If Jen is around, she'll do it. 100%. Star Wars is so dead right now. Well, I mean, at least when the new one comes out, plenty of people will be like, oh shit, Rey was Thingy's kid? That sort of doesn't do anything for the other films, but yes. Fake news. Ryan has cleared up. That is not the case. Rey is not his niece. It was a lie. Well, they can always retcon whatever Ryan thinks, because he's not in the next one. Rian Johnson, Rey, Luke, niece. Let's see if we can get an article. I think Rian Johnson said something along the lines of he wanted it to be that she had no parents that were significant to give her meaning, so that she would have to find meaning herself. So it would definitely be a contradiction if they throw that Leia was her mother all along, because that'll just, Ryan would be like, no, that's not what I wanted. But obviously his particular preferences aren't going to be relevant to J.J. Abrams when he makes his story. So yeah, it'll be fascinating to see what they do. Whoa! Hang on. Way too fast, bro. Way too fast. I don't like the instant moves. Alright, let's do it again. Not too fast this time. Better. Also better. Okay. That's fair. I called hacks on this shit. Ugh. Have I unlocked any shortcuts right now? Yes. There is one I can use to get back up there. Apparently Rian Johnson won Best Director for The Last Jedi at the Empire Awards. Well, good for him. I thought that the theory was going around that that Rey was going to be the daughter of the character from the Solo film that was played by Emilia Clarke. Thought that was a theory. Use the Force. I wish I had the Force. It would help in this game. I could blow people away like a... Oh. I was sure that would work. Would you agree that the monster in the closet is terrifying because there's nothing scarier than a monster that's gay? Ha! You can cheese those werewolves by going into the building. I mean, I wasn't trying to cheese them, I was trying to fight them. Also, yeah, I think I would go for, what's his name? Taika Waititi to take over for James Gunn, just because I don't know who else is going to not destroy Guardians 3. It's not going to be the Russo brothers to take over, I know they're way too busy. Wait, what? Wasn't that a parry? Oh, thanks for that. Wow, did you see the way they just disappeared? What? How isn't that a parry? One down. And they're all the blood vials they owed me. What would it take you to have a full-time YouTube career? What is a full-time YouTube career? Because I'm pretty much doing that now. The majority of the hours of every day is going towards making a YouTube video. I don't have a job outside of it. I'm making enough money to pay rent and bills. So I would say that it's pretty much... It's mainly thanks to Patreon. The Patreon's been incredibly helpful. I can't really save much money, but it's enough to sustain myself, and I feel like if I have enough time I should be able to generate more of an audience, and then more interest on Patreon, I suppose, to be able to, I don't know, save, and then maybe take a few breaks every once in a while and travel or chill out, as the humans do sometimes. Do you think Snoker will turn as a Force ghost? Potentially. Could potentially ruin everything. If you had the Force, what would you use it for? Oh, just casual stuff. I wouldn't, you know, try and take over the world or anything. What happened to the God of War review? Are you new to my channel? These things take a long time. Gotta do Force Awakens first. And then probably Han Solo, and then God of War. And that process is going to take a long time. Hello there. Well, that still worked out. Probably the Sam. Rose is actually Luke's daughter. Well, they could do whatever they want. Why is your guy covered in strawberry jam? Is there any better way to clothe yourself? If people think you're bleeding with all the jam, then they're going to be afraid of you. Freaking... I just realized I actually have a lot of echoes, so let's not lose them, shall we? Will you stream Monster Hunter World? Potentially. I would be interested in doing that. Who should direct it? Like I said, Taika Waititi would probably be someone I would have take over for it. Already did a review of Solo. I already did a review of Force Awakens, but I didn't do a critique, which is fantastic. Very, very different. Do you think sequels that are just a prequel... Wait, what? Do you think sequels that are just the prequel film with a few changes to the plot automatically bad? Especially if the prequel film was good? I mean, I think that you can tell an old story again just fine. If you do it competently, it's okay. But that's not the case. Being a rip-off of something doesn't necessarily dictate how good your thing is going to be. Depends on how well you did. There's a lot of films that are essentially just rip-offs of others. And that is A-okay. A lot of people accuse Return of the Jedi being a rip-off of A New Hope. If that were true, then at least it was a decent... decent film. Potential to stream Demon Souls? Possibly, yes. I think the example of that question was John Wick 1 versus 2. Potentially. Yeah, Empire is my favorite as well. Alright, let's go get... I think that's a Blood Dew, which is actually pretty useful. And that is it then. I need to go get an insight, or I could just pop one. I'll probably just pop one, because I can't be asked to go to a boss room just for that. Excellent. Most boring, probably Phantom Menace. Probably. I appreciate that The Last Jedi didn't bore me, but I'm not sure what I take away from that being the case. That tune is the main theme of Hateful Eight. It is stuck in my head. Raymond Reviews. I was inspired by your critique series of The Last Jedi and decided to make my own. I hope that you personally check it out and let me know what you think. How are you and Greedo? I used to be a big fan of him. Well, first of all, I'm glad that my series inspired you to make something, and thank you for the $10, of course, as well. Me and Greedo, there's a guy I've been able to PM who apparently knows Greedo, and they're trying to sort of set up so that me and him can speak to each other, but I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like there's a strong chance of it happening, because Greedo seems very professional, while also, that's the positive version, then I'd also say a little bit flaky. Like, I can't see him wanting to talk to me, because I feel like me and him are from two different worlds. It feels like doing Just Right again, you know, with the whole, what do you mean that my feelings aren't valid? And I'll be like, it's not what I'm trying to say. It's not ever what I was trying to say. And also there was a requirement, I think, for talking to Hello Greedo, where he said something along the lines of, like, he doesn't want a debate, he wants a discussion. And if anybody saw the stream, for me, Wolf and Just Right, you'll know that it was a little bit like... Oh, I need to pop it before I come here. It was a little bit like, oh right, yeah, you can't call it a debate because they see it as a negative thing or an argument. It has to be considered a discussion, even though you most of the time will just do the exact same thing anyway. It's, you know. So basically, yes, there is a chance that me and Greedo are gonna have a chat. As far as I know, it's in the works, but I'm not too hopeful, because I'm already garnering a reputation. One of the things he needed confirmed was whether or not I was racist, because that's a thing that's going around about me as well. And why? Because I had the temerity to criticize Black Panther, which is not a film that deserves criticism whatsoever. It is a beautiful film, and I should have appreciated it immensely for what it was, and it's disgusting that I didn't. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty sad that just because of that, I've seen a couple of people comment that it's just like, oh yes, Mauler, I was a fan before he became racist. It's just like, okay. I'm just gonna keep it apolitical in my videos permanently, and not talk about race and shit, and just keep it real. I don't really care if people say I'm racist. They'll have no quotes to work with, so it doesn't really. You know, what do I man? Yeah, what do I care? Ethnic banter. I mean, I'm always on board with a stream with for a stream with world class bullshitters. Always fun to hang out with Jeff. He's a fun guy. Type Ryan Johnson explained deleted scene Rey Luke's niece into Google, and then click the. All right, I am interested. So it was a deleted scene. I thought the other guy said it was in the film. Oh, this is like a full-on video. Yeah, I'm not really getting an easy result for that one. You can PM me on Discord if you want, and I'll check it out later. For now, I want to upgrade my stuff. 13. I think you need 16 overall, so Not quite, but good enough. You require more bloodstones. How many levels can I get with this much to start with, I wonder? I will embolden myself. Boom, 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 boom. 9 levels. Which is a decent chunk of health. Is the TFA critique going to blow my mind? I mean, will something blow your mind if it's 12 hours long? That would just be continuous blowing for a while, and that not in context is naughty. What is your Discord? It is in the description. If you would like to join the Discord, there is a link in the description. Does know about whole Twitter fight between Mauler and H-Bomber guy? I imagine people who are on Twitter know about it, but me and him have had a back and forth twice now. I'm just gonna keep bumping into him every time he says something silly. I got him to say that a mistake is not an objective flaw, which is the most bizarre statement I've ever heard. You know, if you say like, this is something I'm gonna bring up in my video, so I may as well talk to you guys about it for a bit. You got just right. He tweets out that you can't say that something is a mistake if it's just something you disagree with. As in, it is a mistake that Leia chooses to hug Rey instead of Chewie. It doesn't make any sense. She would not do that. That is not in her character. And so Just Right would argue that that is just your opinion, and that you've disagreed with something, it doesn't make it wrong. But then J.J. Abrams actually came out saying that it was a mistake, and that he would have changed it, preferably. He even says it in the audio commentary. And so I have to wonder, at that point, do you agree that it's objective then, when the actual creator says that it was a mistake? Like, how much evidence do you need? It gets very confusing to me. One of the best fights in the game here. Ow. Did you hug your mother with those arms? Don't think so. Cleric Beast has been defeated. What was your actual favorite part of The Last Jedi? Actual favorite part of The Last Jedi. I like that question, because it's not the opening battle. I think all of that is stupid. There's nothing with Rey and Luke on the island, because it just involves Luke being retarded the whole time. Which leaves us with more space battle stuff, which is more annoying than anything. Obviously nothing in Canto Bight, that was just awful. Crate, I suppose, if I just ignore everything because I like the way it looked. Does that count? Did we get... Is that valid? I hope it's valid. Excuse me, I require more health tisms. Not many, but I'll take it. Yes. How much of your time in Bloodborne is taken away by continuously hacking at ankles? At least 7 times. Rey getting thrown around by Snoke's my favorite part. That's fair. What about the scene with Luke and R2? Oh, good point. That is probably my favorite part, actually. My bad. My bad. I completely forgot about that. Because even the scene with Luke and Leia kind of bugged me. Just because it doesn't make any sense. Like, I was just so confused. Favorite Tarantino film? Probably Kill Bill. I adore that film. And then Reservoir Dogs, and then Pulp Fiction, I think. Hateful Eight. I like Hateful Eight a lot. I'm not a huge fan of the plot. I like the characters a lot. I pretty much agree with Red Letter Media's take on Hateful Eight for the most part. If you want to get my perspective on it, it's pretty much what they say. Fine, I'm going to the house. Screw you guys. Unless you're gonna drop bloodstone shards, stay out of my way. Also, we have the music box, but I'm gonna try and kill Gascoigne without it. Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to stand. Whoa! Okay. Rude. Crab people. A similar point to what you just said, Chaos Sig. Notice how no one ever says you're nitpicking when you say something good about a film that has no effect in the grand scheme of things. Like when you say something very specific and small, that's a good thing. Nobody ever says, ugh, you're just positively nitpicking. Ugh, you're just pointing tiny things out that don't actually matter. Interesting, isn't it? Lime Green Hunk, I don't understand. You've asked that question like 4 times and I keep answering it, but I guess you don't hear me. Taika Waititi is my suggestion. I'm not sure who else could do it, because the Russo brothers aren't going to be available. Come on then, light it up. Oh my god, how close do you want me to get? Well, that guy survived. Good job. If you had to, absolutely had to, how would you torture somebody? Why would I answer that? That's a strange question. Have you seen The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings trilogy? If so, what do you think of them? I adore the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I don't like the Hobbit trilogy very much. I think Wolf is planning a series of videos on the Lord of the Rings. So, that'll be interesting when it comes about. There he is, doing a full series on the 3 films of, you know, that caliber. And then there's me, making videos on The Force Awakens. That's going to be really funny, because his videos on the 3 films is probably going to be shorter than my video on 1 film. But then, I don't blame him, because I just keep talking forever and ever. Would you ever review Lord of the Tisms? I probably would be interested in covering them eventually. A lot of stuff I have to get around to, though. Alright, Gascoigne. How? That seemed like it should have been a Tism. Excuse me. Did you see Jeremy John's video on the First Order? I thought it was pretty good. Actually, I was surprised. I listened to it and I was like, he makes some decent points. And it was a surprise because he usually makes such typical, boring Day 1 review style stuff. But that seemed like a genuinely interesting perspective, and I agree with him. I've always said that the First Order is incompetent and not scary at all. While the Empire, it felt like things were over if the Empire turned up.
What's that smell?
Did somebody fart? Also, thank you for the donation, of course.
Seems to me it's enough to make a man sick.
Ow. Really? Don't laugh at me, I have insecurities. So I'm seeing a pattern with the way that was going. No, 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 no. Ow. No. Can you stop? Alright, this should be fun. Uh-oh. Ooh. Why'd you go over there? Whoa! Excuse me, ma'am. Uh-oh. Oh, I think it's over. See, I really like that boss, and I have so little trouble on the third phase compared to Fortier that I have to wonder if it's like... if it's just Fortier's fear of him that's making him screw up rather than the actual thing himself. Because, like, Fortier lost his tisms over that quite significantly. It was hilarious, but it was also, you know, like, oh man, you gotta pat him on the head, you know? What's your favorite objectively badly written movie? Probably The Room, I think. Ryan placed You're His Niece in Last Jedi where it is objectively factually heard and then he tries to deny it. Clearly Ryan is incompetent. Has anyone got the article on him denying it? Because that would be useful for me, because I mean, it's actual evidence versus just hearsay. I've not seen any of No Clip, I'm afraid. Do you see the video The Last Jedi Why I Loved It by Reality Punch Studios by chance? I think I have. That sounds familiar. Can't remember though. What do you think a Marvel movie directed by the guy behind Birdman and The Revenant would be like? Undeniably interesting, but I'm not sure. Oh yes, I do actually want to see Glass. That looks cool. As a fan of Unbreakable, and I thought Split was pretty good. I have a feeling that could be good, but who knows? Shyamalan is very much an interesting director. Interesting is the best word ever because it doesn't mean bad or good. It just means interesting. Boss review for Gassitism. He is good boss. I like Gassitism. Google Howard the Alien. I would like a Bloodborne sequel, but I think I understand that they wanted Bloodborne to be looked at as a complete thing, I guess. But I don't know. This world is really awesome, and I'd like to see more of it. But I understand that sequelitis is a thing, so I'll let them do whatever they want. Favorite boss in the game is Koss. Least favorite is probably Rom. I find Rom annoying. He's very annoying. But yeah, I think that I will stop there because it's nearly 2.5 hours. And that's good enough, I think, until next week. Hope you guys had some fun. I'm going to get on with my scriptaroo. You can expect an update on the Patreon next Wednesday that'll give you a lot of information about what to expect from this series, and hopefully the title of the post is that I finished the script, but it's not 100% because of how long it's going to take me to finish it, so we don't know. We're not sure. But yes, join my Discord if you would like to keep updated. It's in the description of this video. I hope you guys had some fun hanging out. Thank you for the donations, and I will see you guys the next time I see you. Goodbye.